Hello, here's my answer for video number 4.2, assignment 4.2 with Paul. I would start the conversation like this. Hi, Paul. This really isn't an easy conversation to have, but I wanted to let you know that you're being terminated effective tomorrow. I understand that this is short notice, but you do have 2 vacation days left, and I can bump that up to 4 days actually, so you'll be paid through the end of this week. Our management team has just decided to go in a different direction, and we really want someone who's a go-getter and has a bit more initiative. I've been watching your work lately, and I don't think that you have this go-getter persona. So, for instance, you've been handling the new drinks, and I gave you that assignment about 4 months ago, and it's taken you this long to get it done, but really it should have only taken 1 or 2 weeks. I understand that you might have objections to this, but my decision really is final. I'll need you to work this final shift and turn in your keys and uniform at the end of the night to me. And I understand that this might be unsettling and scary for you, but I know that this is the right decision. We'll mail you your final check, so if you have any other questions, I can answer those, and I'll also give you the contact information for our HR director if any questions come up later that you need answered. But Paul, I just really want you to know that we really, really appreciate what you've been able to do these last 2 years, and I want to wish you the best of luck in the future. And then I would shake his hand. So the first thing I was trying to accomplish in my response was to identify what Paul wanted and try to give that to him. And ultimately, Paul probably wanted to keep his job, so I couldn't give him that, but I wanted to be direct and upfront with him and try to answer any questions he had and kind of calm his fears as much as possible. I wanted to start my response by telling him right away the purpose of the conversation, my decision, and giving him the effective date. I think that was really important because in the video, that was really a main point of conflict where he didn't know when he was done. It was just kind of up in the air, and she kind of didn't really know either. She couldn't really give him a straightforward answer. So I didn't want him to be caught off guard like in the video. So, I didn't beat around the bush. I just started the conversation out saying hi and then just saying, this is not an easy conversation to have, but you're being terminated. And then I think that kind of eliminated some of the conflict. I wasn't beating around the bush. But giving him the effective date answered his question before he could even ask it. And I think that eliminated some of the confusion and the confrontation. And then also explaining how he would bump up his vacation days from 2 to 4 days. He knew this right away. There was no confusion. It might console him a little bit. And I'm prepared. I've done my research. I know that we can bump those days up. And in the video, the manager really was not prepared. She said, well, I think maybe we can do this. That just adds more stress, I think, to the situation. He doesn't know what the final answer is. He's going to have to call tomorrow or whenever to try to figure it out. So just letting him know ahead of time during the conversation was really important. And then I wanted to create a bubble by, if this was in person, I would stand closer to him. And I tried to be conscious of my body language because he was showing a lot of body language in the video. His arms were crossed. He threw the pen at the end. He was sighing. So just kind of trying to keep my composure calm would maybe keep him calm as well. And I believe my response showed him respect by giving him more explanation of the decision. In the video, she just kept saying we want to spice things up. And I think that really is not an explanation at all. So I gave him a legitimate reason. You had this drink assignment. It took you way longer than it should have. You're not showing initiative, and that's what we want. And I also didn't blame the upper management, but told him that this was my decision and that it was final. So, that closes the conversation for him trying to argue with me. But it also, I'm taking ownership of the decision. So I'm not the messenger sent down from the upper management. It's my decision. If he has any questions, he can talk to me about it. And I'm the one responsible for this. And that's really hard to do in conflict, but I think that helps him because, he's seeing me. I'm there in person. We're in this bubble. I'm the one that made the decision. I'm the one that's telling him what the decision is, and he can ask me questions if need be. So it's a really hard part of being a manager and one that I really am not comfortable with yet, but that's why I'm taking this class. And then finally, I showed him respect by generally thanking him for his hard work and wishing him good luck and ending with a handshake. I think that was really important because it establishes that physical contact, kind of de-escalates the situation, and ends it on a good note. So finally, I wanted to establish rapport by showing him genuine interest in answering any of the questions that he had and trying to tell him the answers before he even asked them, and making sure he knew what the next steps were. And I tried to use role reversal. And I've never been terminated, but I have quit a job before, and I know that I had a lot of questions, and I wanted to know what the process was and when I would get my final check and have my questions answered. So I think this upfront approach would have cut down on Paul's frustration and confusion by being upfront with him, and really would have de-escalated the conflict. So that is my response for assignment 4.2.